Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of The Secret of Redemption, where we're going to learn about redemption in greater detail and greater depth than we did in the previous class, which was a sort of an overview of what redemption is, why it's needed on a personal level and on a collective level. In this class, we're going to get into more of the details of redemption in general and the different types of redemption. And in the next class, we are going to go into what the days of redemption are going to look like, what the world is going to be like, and those are great things to anticipate. So, jumping right into the first big idea, Exodus from Egypt versus redemption. So, the first marquee Exodus was coming out of Egypt, where we had the Jewish people who were entrenched in Egypt for 400 years from the time of the birth of Isaac and 210 years in Egypt itself. And for the Israelites to come out of Egypt, it signified a break out of confines. In fact, the word Egypt in Hebrew means Mitzrayim, means constrictions. Limitations. And the coming out of Egypt signified on a national level as well as on a world level that nature can be overcome, that we could break the code of nature and come out of our own limitations. And so the Israelites being slaves to who? To Pharaoh, are now metamorphosized, and they go from level to level after being taken out of Egypt for 49 levels, 49 steps, up until reaching Mount Sinai, where what happens? They become slaves to the Almighty, to the Creator. And essentially that means that they become free, because the word for freedom is cherut in Hebrew, spelled like that. And the word for engraved is charut, is engraved. And the engravement of the 10 Commandments on those 2 tablets represent the engravement of freedom, and the engravement that is actually found within each and every one of us, potentially, if we tap into that. So there's a beautiful saying from the Maharal of Prague, who was a great philosopher, Kabbalist in the mid-18th century, and he speaks about at length this whole redemption out of Egypt and what redemption looks like, etc. And so he writes that the coming out of Egypt signified this level of being free and finding that innate freedom within. As we said, cherut, finding that innate freedom. So with the Exodus, with that redemption out of Egypt, we were wired as the Israelites, and the whole world essentially was given that potential of breaking those confines, that there's freedom that's found within each and every one, regardless of what they go through, regardless of the extent of where they've been, they are able to tap into that freedom, which contradictorily, it sounds like they are actually slaves, but that notion of slavery for a higher purpose, being a slave for the Creator and serving all of humanity, serving the world, that sets the person free.